Welcome to the Real Dad of Los Angeles. My name is Kevin, and I'm a foster to adopt dad. I've been documenting my entire journey to fatherhood over on YouTube. And after years of growth and a whirlwind of experiences, I'm sharing my stories and my lessons learned right here. New episodes air twice a week, one with brand new content about foster care and fostering to adopt, and one is the audio experience of my YouTube vlog. So whether you're someone who's followed me over from YouTube, and thank you for that, or if you're someone who just recently found this show because you have questions and want to learn more about fostering or fostering to adopt, then you're in the right place. So, with that said, let's get started. Thank you so much for joining me on this new adventure that we're about to go on. So, just a little bit of a backstory. If you're not sure who I am, you don't follow my YouTube channel, you don't know anything that I'm doing, let me tell you just a little bit about who I am and why this show has gotten started. So, first and foremost, I'm not new to podcasting. I did have a podcast called LGBTQ Stories, which is still in podcast land out there. It was a pretty significant show. We basically told different stories from queer people in the community. It did really well, had 300,000 downloads worldwide, and it was airing in 110 different countries. So that was a few years ago, and I stopped that because I got really burnt out. I took some time off, got through COVID and things like that. And then somewhere in the middle of or toward the end of 2020, I realized that I wanted to become a dad. And that had to do in part with feeling a little bit lonely with relationship stuff, but also evaluating, like so many people did in 2020, what I really wanted to do with my life. So I was on this app, I think it was Hinge that I was on, and I was swiping and swiping and swiping. And I can remember myself saying to myself, why am I doing this? Why am I on this app? And the conversation went sort of like this. Well, I want to find a husband. Why do you want to find a husband? Because I want to have children. Why do you have to have a husband to have children, Kevin? I don't. So I literally just swiped on my phone and closed the app because I realized the reason I was there was because I wanted to be a dad. And becoming a dad, in my mind, meant you had to get married. And to get married, you had to find a partner. And to find a partner, well, you had to be on Hinge. And it was all ass backwards, and you just didn't need to do any of that. I mean, we live in 2020 at the time, but now 2022. We don't need to be in relationships to have children. And it's funny, I was just talking to my mom tonight, and I just thought, I had mentioned, there's so many single parents nowadays, and especially in Los Angeles. So that's where the beginning of this starts, and we'll get more into that as the episodes go along. But what I really want to focus on today in this very first episode is why this podcast really started. I did not really have an intention to start a podcast around this, but something really difficult happened to my YouTube channel. So as we go along this show and this podcast, I'll explain more and have specific episodes about the anonymity that you have to provide to kids in foster care and things about confidentiality that you're required to follow. And I had a little bit of a situation where those lines got a little bit too blurry. And blurry is a funny word to choose because it literally got blurry on YouTube. So my channel is called The Real Dad of Los Angeles. If you search that, you'll find me on YouTube. I just became YouTube partner, and I was really excited about that because I worked really hard to get there. And very authentically, I will say, I provided a lot of really cool information, and I devoted a ton of time to learn how to edit, learned how to do good vlogging videos, and also sprinkled in different live videos and Q&As and educational videos as well. So, a big part of my channel is vlogging, and I would just like take my iPhone, I'd vlog my day, I would vlog the day with the children, go through different experiences like baby R and we went and got his first Christmas tree and things like that. So, what I do to conceal the identity of all the children on the show is basically I give them a letter for their names. So I have baby R, baby S, baby L, baby T, baby A, baby E, and I think that's might be about it. Oh, and baby J. And so if I have a video and any of them are in it, I basically say, oh, this is baby R and we're doing this today, or this is baby A and we're doing this today. And then additionally, what I do is I blur their faces out because, we're not allowed to show their faces on social media. And if you notice something about Instagram or Facebook and things like that, typically when someone has a foster child, they will put like little hearts or smiley faces over their face or blur their face out. And sometimes people will just like put a little line through their eyes or a little bar through their eyes, like I was doing, following the rules just like everyone else. Well, unfortunately, someone made a claim against me to the county, and there was a little bit of a discrepancy in am I concealing the identity of the children? So, what happened was that I was told by the county that I need to address this concern. And basically, I had to remove all of my content. Literally 2 years worth of content. I don't know if y'all understand. When I put out a 12 to 25-minute video, that is literally between video, like vlogging on my phone to editing. It's probably like a 20-minute video will take me easily 3 hours of editing. It's a lot of work. So imagine that times 80 videos and 2 years worth of work. Additionally, I had to take all the photos off of my Instagram and my Facebook. It was really, really, really kind of sad because I had to like take all of this content down. There were so many people on YouTube that were commenting, thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for this. New foster parents were finding out that like literally there were comments about people saying, I did not know I could foster as a single person. I didn't know that I could be a foster parent as a queer person. That in itself brought me so much joy in life, knowing that I was like literally inspiring people to become foster parents. It's unreal to me. And what's even more unreal is that people didn't even know that they could be a foster parent because they were gay. I had, like, sometimes I really think we in Los Angeles truly live in a bubble because so much of this stuff is so attainable and accessible to us. And then as I was going and archiving all my photos off of Instagram, I cannot tell you how, I cannot tell you how hard that was for me because I was forced to go look at 2 years worth of videos. I'm sorry, 2 years worth of photos. And I was looking at photos from my initial placement, Baby S, and how excited I was and how authentic I was in the captions. And it was a little bit, I don't know if traumatizing is the word. I'll just say it was sad. Like that day, I literally felt sad that all had to come off the internet. But I know that complying to what the county and the state were saying I had to do was way more important than putting the content out there. Because being a foster parent is way more important to me. So I had to pivot. I literally had to pivot last minute. They told me at my agency, yeah, Kevin has 24 hours to remove all this content. I don't think they realized how much content it was. So I spent the day getting everything off the internet. And now, where I'm at today is my YouTube channel. It's still monetized, it's still partnered, and I still have a really, really cool audience of people that support me. When they say find your village, I literally found my village through Instagram and YouTube. And the people that are here physically in my world. The thing that these different groups of people offer is like literally the babysitting. And, I have a friend, Stephanie, who's going to watch the baby tomorrow. So I can go to the movies because I never get to do anything. I'm a single parent, right? And then I have this online community where these people literally like support me through comments on YouTube and comments on Instagram. So much so that when I had to remove all the videos from YouTube, and I did a video talking about this, like still now these people there are still engaging with the content, with the new content, and commenting like one person commented, I see, like they noticed like I had to put more blurs. So basically any new video, you don't see the children as much. And if they are on screen, it is a complete full body blur out, like completely blurred. And I'm over here thinking to myself, well, man, like this is going to be boring to people, and it sucks because I don't know. It just really worried me. And someone commented like, yeah, I see what you did, but it was still really good and it just as engaging and they loved it. And that was really nice to get that feedback. And so many people are still around and know the journey I'm going on. So there's all of that. And then where I'm at today, right? So I'm in the process of going through all my old videos, like 80 plus videos, and blurring out the children so intensely that you just literally won't see their bodies. But that process is going to take a long, long time to do because there's a lot of videos. And because they're already uploaded to YouTube, I have to edit the videos within YouTube's editing platform. And that takes even longer than me just doing it on my own. So this idea of the podcast popped up. I said, how can I get new people who are going to come to my channel on YouTube to have the content that is old? And I realized I just need to put the audio content out there in the meantime. And another thing that happened is so many people over the last 6 months have told me how much they've gained from my YouTube channel with just like educational stuff, like asking questions and finding out like the answers to it because I was giving them the answers. I've had people email me and be like, hey, I've got a question about this, or DM me on Instagram. Can you tell me about your agency? Or why does this happen? Or how do I go about this? I want to start the process. So I thought to myself, well, this is really cool content. Like we can do a podcast where I do things like answering a question on a Tuesday and talking about confidentiality with children, or talking about the home study process, or some other content. There's people in the Netherlands and the UK and Australia that listen and watch my YouTube channel. And they're foster parents. Like, how cool would it be to have them come on the podcast with me and we like shoot the shit and talk about what it's like to foster in the different countries? Because there are some similarities and there are some vast differences. And then maybe there can be episodes about like having the director of my agency on the podcast and talking about more logistical things. Maybe there could be an episode where I'm freaking yelling and ranting and screaming because I'm so annoyed and this is so difficult. And that's what the episode's about. I don't know. Tuesdays are going to just be like content. And then Thursdays is where I want to utilize that time to catch anybody and everybody up on my story. And the way that I'm going to do that is release all the audio of the past videos. Literally from the first video where I'm sitting in my old apartment. If you go back, that video is still on YouTube. If you go back and listen to that video and watch it, it's so silly. I'm literally like sitting on the floor in front of my sofa in my old apartment talking about, hi, my name's Kevin. I want to adopt a child. And I started a GoFundMe campaign for it. And I was thinking I was just going to adopt a child and like raise some money for it. And I meant it, guys. I really, really meant it. And I was really authentic and honest. And it was so difficult for me to put that out because I was scared and worried what people were going to think. And I knew that I just had to do it. And it's so crazy how that one video opened the door to so much in my life. So much so that YouTube was the catalyst to me putting down acting. Because like in California, I've been here for 12, almost 13 years now, pushing acting. That industry is so hard to let go of because we often put so much of our identity and validation into that career. And to let go, I know myself, and I believe some other people that I know or I've met in the past, kind of like to let go feels like you failed. And YouTube has been a place where I've been able to be myself and still be on camera and entertain people, but I've also been able to educate people and help people, all while being Kevin, like literally just being myself. So this whole experience of fostering and entertaining in this way, it's just fulfilled me so much. And then lastly, there's what the children teach you, the selflessness that they teach you, the patience you have to have, the joy of seeing a tiny infant. I've fostered 7 children now. 7 children, 7 infants, not even just kids, infants. The youngest I've gotten was 4 days old. And the oldest that I've been placed in my arms has been 2 months old. Like 7 infants over the last 2 years. And it's been the most difficult roller coaster I have ever been on. But at the same time, it's been the most validating, the biggest learning experience I've ever been through. And I feel like I'm at this like point where it's like kind of the tipping point. If you've read Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Tipping Point, you'll understand this. And if you haven't, I urge you really, really read that book. It's so good. But just how everything has a tipping point. And eventually you get to this point where you start to go on the other side. And it's not so much like a decline, like a negative way, but like everything's going to tip in your favor or not in your favor. And I just feel like I'm on the brink of something really beautiful. And I don't know fully what that is, but yeah. So this is basically what this show is all about. I really wanted to take this episode to give you guys some context that this is a new platform for me to continue to give content, to give like answers to questions. I encourage you guys to email me your questions so I can answer those things. If I can give you more like long form content, because on YouTube, I can only address things so long because people will get tired of watching. But this type of platform, you have a question, I can literally spend more time talking about it and giving you resources. So my email is therealdadoflosangeles@gmail.com. You can send me your questions, your feedback there. Also, if you click on the show notes, there is a link there. It will take you to the show notes. On the show notes on the website, you can leave comments on those show notes, or in that. Basically, the show notes will take you to a blog of this episode, and then you could comment there. Put your comments about the episode. You can like ask me questions there and things like that. And that's another way we can continue building this village. But also, I can reference that back in future episodes and answer those questions, or just acknowledge you as the human person that you are. So that is that. I'm really excited for this journey. Guys, please reach out. Check out the YouTube. It's just youtube.com/The Real Dad of Los Angeles, or just type in The Real Dad of Los Angeles. You'll find it. Subscribe there. Please subscribe here and join me on YouTube and on Instagram. Instagram is The Real Dad of Los Angeles. Oh. And the last thing I want to share with you. So I did create a private group called, you guessed it, The Real Dad of Los Angeles, on Facebook. And that is like another place where people can be more communicative and like interact more with all the content. So there's so many different avenues to where people can be a part of this. So I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you guys for being patient with me and understanding with me. If you're new here, please reach out to me, please, because there's going to be so many different people that want to know information, people that have followed me over here from YouTube, and I want to be of service. That's it for this episode, and I cannot wait for your next week and just the things we're going to talk about and learn about. If you have questions, you know how to reach me. All right, everyone. Peace out. Thanks for joining me today, everyone. You can check out the show notes for more details and information related to today's episode. There's a really easy link there. And if you'd like to donate to the show to help me keep things running smoothly, you can do that by simply sending a donation via Venmo. Send it to @TRDLA. Also, that information is in the show notes too. And if you want to send an email and ask me any questions or get any more information regarding foster care or foster to adopt, you can do that. Just email therealdadoflosangeles@gmail.com. Again, thanks for listening today. And be sure to subscribe here as well as to my YouTube. The community that we've built there, I'm telling you, it's just fabulous. All right, I'll see you next time.